All right, no bandana. It's just impromptu. I didn't really even have a video idea going on. I'm just going to piece some stuff together today. But one of the things that we have done in this lockdown and that we learned is the coronavirus has kind of changed everybody's life. And we knew as we were watching it, 'cause as I've stated, we've been watching this since the beginning of the year. We knew we had some problem areas in our off-grid life. We already knew it. It wasn't a big deal, but we weren't forced into doing anything different. And though, as many of you know, we have two generators. One is to run our shop up further on the property for our business, our income, and the other is a small generator back here so I can run the internet and we can charge our computers. And these things all take gasoline. So one thing for sure that is an issue is we knew our shop would probably dry up, business would dry up, because people's minds are not on buying wedding and event products. So if that dried up, we knew that obviously we would not need the generator up at the shop to produce the products that the people were purchasing. So that kind of was a negative thing happening, yet at the same time it was an answer that we wouldn't have to worry about gasoline for that generator. Because if you're not making money, you can't buy gasoline, right? The other thing is we were watching other countries go into lockdown, and we kind of just assumed that was going to end up happening here in the U.S. once the coronavirus took off in an exponential swing, which it did, and lockdowns have happened. Of course, we can leave for essentials, but who wants to go off the property or leave your home any more than necessary at this time? Because you can just assume, because we lack availability for proper testing where we should be, we can assume that there's community growth of the coronavirus everywhere and that everybody's potentially infected. And I know that sounds ominous and I know that sounds kind of negative, but that's the reality. That's how you've got to look at things. So who wants to leave your home any more than necessary? And a lot of people don't realize that these are things that we have to face because most people are on the grid. So with that said, the one thing that we had decided to do is we were going to get a solar panel, and we had a couple of deep cycle batteries, and we had the inverter that we needed for those so that we could run the computers and the internet. And we've been doing that for a few days now. We had to order the product, and of course, my being in the hospital, it kind of delayed stuff and everything. But we got a small panel. Ron set it all up, and we're running there now. So that's really good. So we can only charge a computer at a time with our current setup. We hope to eventually be getting more solar panels as we are able to, and then even when this is done, we probably won't go back to the small generator once we get ourselves set up in a positive light there. The other thing is, most of you know that we go to a community well to get our water. And we have a Berkey, we have fresh filters, we have a creek on our property, and we have tons of snow. We do not have, even if we had a setup right now for collecting rainwater, it would do us no good because we don't get rain for quite a while now. And at least not enough to write home about. And when we do, we just, put 5-gallon buckets out. But that is definitely something we're going to be considering at some point. But where we're at now, where it stands, is that we have to, if we don't go to the community well to get the water, and of course we're wanting to reduce the exposure there, like I said, because people do come and they do use it, we have the option to melt snow. I don't know if any of you have ever truly, honestly melted snow to use this water for any amount. I'm talking more than just a gallon or a couple gallon pail. I'm talking really like enough snow to melt, to wash your dishes, to, do whatever cleaning you had to wash yourself. It takes an unreal amount. And we do have an unreal amount of snow outside. This is true. But it's very tedious, and it is something that can be done, that we have done before, but it's not our first call. Now, the other thing is we've got the crick. The crick is fine and great, especially if we boil the water to drink and run it through our Berkey, because that Berkey filter takes out any creaky, lakey taste that the water has, and it does. It has a crick smell, which is kind of fishy. And I won't run it through the Berkey water for cleaning, for dishes, for washing ourselves. So it's not my first choice to do if we don't have to, because it does have a smell. And we've used it before. We've done this before, especially when we first moved up here, and I boiled all my water before I used it. Just a thing. I don't know if it's OCD or just kind of a thing that I felt more comfortable with as a mother with young kids. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's what I did, and it's what I do. But it's the smell I can't get beyond. And again, the Berkey's fine. It runs that water through, and it tastes just fine. But for washing dishes and all that other stuff. So those are the things that we're kind of having to look at now and make some decisions on what are we willing to compromise with? Are we willing to forego, do we not care so much about the fishy taste and smell and the amount of time it takes for the snow, or would we rather go to the well? So just those type of things that we're encountering. Let's see what else. We're also, you guys have heard us talk about Pullman, our bulk food store. Everybody's behind. You know that we've been buying online for a long time, but it just seems everybody's behind because everybody's buying online now. And we placed an order with the Pullman store over a week ago. I think it's been a week and a half. It took, usually, it's always been, if we haven't had it delivered through their truck, if we've had it shipped UPS, it was shipped the next day. And we get it within 3 days of ordering. That's not the case right now. They're up to 14 days behind. It took them 4 days to finally get a hold of me. And I think what we're going to end up doing is canceling that order because they're getting ready to have a truck come up this way. And shipping is over $100 for 150 pounds. Shipping's gone up. And it's not that they're taking advantage of that. That's not the type of store to do that. It's just that shipping has gone up. And coming from someone whose life depends on shipping their products, it has just gone up. So, and last order we did was back in the fall, and we had it brought to us through their delivery truck. And if you buy $400 or more, delivery's free. So I had an order in for 150 pounds. The order was $277. 120 of that was shipping. So if I cancel that order and spend another $130, I get $400 worth of product instead of spending $277 for $50 worth of product. So I guess for me it's a no-brainer. I'm just going to kind of see what I can do, see if I can make that work. But if any of you use them, I know some of you have in the past, just be prepared that if you're having it shipped UPS, pricing has gone up and time is it's really snailing right now just because of so many orders. So, all right, so that's our update. I'm getting ready to wash buckets. I have some bags of dry good that's been up at the trailer, in the cargo trailer through the winter, and they need the space, and we brought them back here, and I just don't have the space for them, so I've got to get them in my buckets, and that's what I'm going to do right now. And we will talk to you guys tomorrow. Stay safe. God bless.